Hi guys, welcome back to another allotment update video by Daniel and John. For those of you that follow this side of our channel, we're just going to show you what we've managed to harvest. It's now the end of June 2023. John's just going to show you what we've harvested, then we'll just show you what else we've got going on.
I'll tell you where we've gone wrong. So we've got peas. These have been really nice. You see there.
So the longer you leave these, the bigger the peas you get.
Yeah, you want them as though they're full like that, they're about this size, and they are. The difference in taste is different. Now, the reason we've got baby carrots, as I would call them, is because we've put too many in the raised bed. Lesson for next year was to thin them out a bit more, but we've had a few people's other allotments here who's given us loads of advice. Lettuce has always been a success. We've got some onions here.
These are some ones, yeah.
So they've worked out really well, and you can taste the difference. You can, no doubt about that. Then we've got
some normal spring onions.
Which have done really
which
well.
Which were over there.
So they've done really well. Yeah. So, and we're starting to get a few potatoes through. We've pulled some of these a little bit early because one or two are looking a bit sorry for themselves. So I'm just wondering whether they've got that potato blight, but you can see what we've got there. They're quite nice.
They're not huge, but they're enough just to have something out of.
So, I mean, here, it's not a lot. You've got lettuce, onions, carrots, potatoes. If you're creative, you could make something with it. More potato plants here. These are the ones given by our neighbours, and these were just old potatoes they were going to bin. Incredible it is. Next we've got tomato plants doing really well.
Starting to flower, some of them. We've got them over there and there as well.
We're going to have lots of tomatoes. Here's the carrots. This is what I mean about the carrots. We've put too many in.
Yeah.
Basic schoolboy error. Next year we'll spread them out so we can get some nice deep long ones. If they're put together, you just get those little baby carrots. But we can use them.
Yeah, we'll learn our lesson on that one.
Wildflowers here coming through, just for the environment more than anything.
Rocket lettuce.
Now this lettuce has been fantastic. It's gone on and on and on, and we had some other lettuce in there.
Yeah, as John says, we had some other lettuce in that. That was gem lettuce, which did start to go over a bit, didn't it?
This seems to just last.
Seems to last a bit longer.
So if you want a long-lasting lettuce, we'd put this rocket lettuce down. Here we've got our
spring onions.
They've done really well. Can't knock it. What else we've got going on? If you look at some of the videos, we have these bamboos and they were looking absolutely
dead,
awful. They have recovered. Fruit trees are doing brilliant.
The plum tree, as you can see, it's got loads, not quite ready to pick yet, but it's got loads of plums on it.
If you look at the leaves, you can see we've had ants up here.
Yeah.
But good news, the ladybirds have moved in. So there's lots of ladybirds on the site, and that's probably due to a lot of the wildflowers there.
Yeah.
And the fact we put a little ladybird thing in. We're on about insects and pests. We've had the badgers visit, as you know, but now, my friends, the moles have arrived. Right, here and here. They're trying to push up through the weed barrier, which is here, and they can't get through. They've got through there because there isn't any there. We'll have to have a think about that. They've even come through here. And they're about, you can feel them as you walk through. Sometimes you go on the allotment and you can feel them. Reminds me of, I can't remember what it's called, Golf Caddy or Shack Caddy, where the moles are
Caddy Shack, I think.
Yes, everywhere. Peas.
Starting to go over now, aren't they?
Right, so mistake we made, they need more spacing for next year. I was getting a little tip off somebody else on the allotment, just grow them in a piece of guttering and then slide them into the correct space, which seems like a really good idea. I'm going to use that. So people have been really helpful towards us.
And we've got another lot growing there, two lots basically.
Here. Fruit bushes.
Yeah, small fruit bushes to start with.
We just put them outside so we get on. We put a little bug area in there, little bug house. If you remember, we planted some nettles because they attract ladybirds, good for the environment. More potatoes.
These are seed potatoes.
I'd say the easiest thing to grow is potatoes and tomatoes. So
The onions have been easy to grow as well,
Yeah.
haven't they? That's all tomatoes around the outside. Just spare ones we had. They didn't do well initially when we first planted them. They're very like yellowy, but now they've fully
it's
recovered.
worth looking at a previous.
This way.
Yeah, it's worth looking at a previous video where we'd planted them, we'd moved them, and we put nettle leaves at the bottom, and how yellow and ill they were looking, and how they've actually recovered, which is quite amazing as well. You can see we've got various veg here. We've got some cauliflower. If you look here,
There are some weeds here.
if Danny can get his thing in, you can see the ladybird there, and there's one there. There's probably more, but I can't see them. So they basically eat the aphids on trees and things, so then there's no aphids to eat, or what the aphids leave behind. Then if you've got ants, the ants have got nothing to eat, so they'll disappear. Beetroot coming through, we can definitely tell that's beetroot.
Yeah.
That's looking good.
Looks like some of these have died off a little bit for some reason.
Yeah,
Don't know what's going on with them.
almost have been.
Eaten by something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the thing about having an allotment is sometimes you come up here and things will happen.
I'm guessing.
Just animals will be in
I'm going to
here
look
and
into it, but it wouldn't surprise me if those moles like beetroot.
I think
like
something's been
They will have
something's been
all sorts.
stood in here or something. Anyway,
Badgers.
they're not all gone. That's the main thing.
Badgers, as long as there's not anybody with 2 feet, we're okay. More wildflowers there,
Bit
which
of
is good.
wildflowers,
And
cherry
that
tree.
look really nice when it comes out. And that's really it. We've got a bit going on in the fruit cage.
All these, as John walked over there, all these tomato plants are quite well established now. You can see they're getting quite big. I'll try and find. You've got the tomatoes forming here.
I did see one somewhere.
So, and they're very. If I show you, they're really big as well.
The stems are
big
huge,
that is.
aren't
Really big.
they? Another tip that somebody gave me, and I thought, oh yeah, because we're thinking what we can do with all these tomatoes apart from give them to neighbours and friends. Apparently you can roast them with garlic and onions. When they've cooled down, put them in a bag and freeze them, and you can use them for pizza bases and all sorts. So that's worth thinking if you've got lots of tomatoes, basically.
So with the tomato plants, they will sort of self-pollinate in the wind because the male and female flowers on opposite ends. Obviously the bees can get through this netting. We've got it up to make it easy for them. They will obviously help with the pollination as well. But they're already starting to fruit. So moles,
Mole.
yeah, moles.
I'm-
Here, look, see.
I'm concerned that I'm going to walk in and I'm going to disappear. Now, to some people that might be good, but
So we'll
Right.
show you in the fruit cage,
so here's our fruit cage.
and everything is doing really well.
Strawberries are doing well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of things off
Strawberries,
this
and
year.
they do taste really nice. Next year, I think we're going to put some trays on here and grow a few more strawberries.
Yeah, we're
But you
gonna
can
grow a
see
bit more.
they do keep,
Yeah.
and we will pick a few today.
If you do grow them on the ground, you need to put straw down. But because these are sort of, the air can get to them. They don't go mouldy
Yeah.
or they don't go.
The other thing we did, if you remember, was the little bee.
Make a little
Pond.
bee pond for them.
We'll fill that
Yeah.
up. That's definitely worked. We've seen bees in here.
Yeah, bees have definitely been
We've
in
even
here.
seen them at the bee bar. So
Yeah.
I might trademark that bee bar.
So we've got an assortment of fruit bushes, different varieties.
Yeah,
Everything's
look at them.
growing. That's your raspberry. All sorts of bits.
One
Here.
lonely
Jostaberry.
on its own, so that's probably worth an absolute fortune in the allotment world. Gooseberries.
Gooseberries and grapes as well. We've got 2 grapevines in here. This one on the left is doing better. And I think if I show you, that's little grapes.
Yeah.
So, but these are new plants, so obviously you're not going to get a ton of thing off them.
The one that seems to be moving quite quickly is that one. Was that tiddly little plant? we
Yeah,
had?
this one as well. I staked this a few days ago because it grew, and it's just grown massive. Same with this as well. That grows real quick as well.
So they do shoot up real quick. So we might move some of these over this end where there's
Yeah.
a bit more space for them. But
They might need a bit more of a trellis to grow up
it's all
on.
doing well. As you can see, we've had plenty of water. It does rain in June. It's starting to spit now. Our watering system's still working really well,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
I think that's helped us a lot.
A
the
lot with watering,
system.
yeah.
The guttering on here for the watering, to catch the water into the barrels, that's worked really well. So we're learning, but we are being helped by other people on the allotment, so which is good.
But I think next year, I think we'll do things a little bit different in some
we'll
areas.
listen to the advice we've been given.
Yeah, definitely.
And probably rejig things a bit. But when things have died off here, we'll probably move some of the veg we're growing into these beds.
I'll just show you, we've got where John said earlier about the gem lettuce here. We've actually got some new lettuce growing in here. We've just got a bit of a fleece over it at the moment.
Because the best,
You might be able to see.
the best success we had with our lettuce was by putting this fleece over.
So as you can see, things
They're
are...
coming through, what's that, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, they don't take long to grow.
And
In rows.
we left our fleece on, and we just left it on, ready to protect it, until they got to that high in there. They got enough water and they got enough light, so if that helps anybody.
They don't need to be pollinated either, so
No.
you can, as long as they get the sunlight, and sunlight does come through this fleece, there'll be no problems with that.
Fine. So we've had this allotment since October, if you have a look at things, and the things that we're learning about is pests, insects, and little four-legged
Mammals and things, yeah.
and that's the thing we're learning about, like the beetroot we've just spotted down there, which is it's been swished.
It wasn't like that when we were up here the other day, so I think something's been in here, to be perfectly honest.
So
Seems to have...
it's a shame.
Yeah, not sure what's
Quite a
going
few
on.
of them
But it probably just... Give them a bit of water, they'll probably recover. So they're okay, but some of them are a little bit...
So perhaps we should have protected them somehow. But that's a learning curve.
Yeah,
It's,
it doesn't
you know,
mean, just because they're a bit thing at the moment, it doesn't mean they won't recover. They probably will. Just they look a
Yeah,
bit sorry at
but-
the moment.
We've got some beetroot, so that's the main thing. We'll have some, and we might just put them in the raised bed. Yeah, it's just how it is. It's funny. One day you can come here and it's all fine. Next day you can turn up and things are either really doing really well or
Yeah.
taken turn for the worse. But
99% of things up here have done really well. The
Yeah.
only thing I'd say about the old tomatoes is, because these have been grown from seed, we've had to plant them as little plants. We've had to put the stakes in and just tie them off every now and then. If I show you, like here, see? As they get bigger, they just need a bit of support, but they're doing very well. Yeah. All good.
overall,
pretty good.
we've learned a few lessons, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
It's been, I'd say, it's a nice place just to come, get out of the house if you want. And once you've got all your structure in and you've bought it all, apart from a bit of upkeep and maintenance, that's it done.
The only maintenance we have to do up here is really just watering and weeding.
Yeah.
Just to stop things getting out of control.
Yeah.
Especially with...
But apart
Yeah,
from
other
that,
things.
it's absolutely fine, isn't it? Shed's done really well.
Shed's still up, fruit cage is still up.
Plastic greenhouse has done really well.
Yeah.
Solar panels still up and running
Yep.
and working. if
Solar
anybody wants to
panels,
know.
as John says, solar panel is working perfectly. Got peppers in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Anything I'd say about them
They're
is
looking a bit not milky, but
you do have to water them a little bit because obviously they get hot. They do tend to wilt. They're looking all right. They're not looking.
I think what needs to happen, they need now taking out and putting in pots of their own.
Yeah.
That's what needs.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Dividing up, I think, is the term.
Next time we come up here.
Probably all struggling. What's that one? Has that a slug of some sort? No. They feel quite wet to me, so.
Yeah. I gave them a little bit of a water earlier.
I mean, this one here is flowering, so that's a clue of something. I guess that's where the peppers will be.
Yeah, the peppers.
Yeah.
So we've had to grow these in the greenhouse because obviously you can't put everything out properly outside. They need a bit of shelter.
And so we've got that lovely
Backdrop.
Wildflower.
Yeah, they've got lovelies. It's nice. Proper poppies, those as well. Actual poppies.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, apart from the moulds, it's all looking all right. Things have lasted. Raised beds probably needing a lick of paint, but it's okay. It's been a lot of learning experience, but it's been good. I think so.
Yeah, so that's just an update of where we are in sort of the end of June, because we made a video in May. We'll probably do one in August as well.
Yeah.
It's just in case you are thinking about growing things, you're just wondering how they'll turn out. Hopefully this is helpful to you.
Even the creosote on the CLS, the wood.
It's lasted. Yeah.
That's lasted, no problems at all.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to
So
know.
what we'll do with this fruit cage, this triangle one, we'll probably just let all these little fruit bushes grow up a bit. And they do grow quite quick.
Yeah.
It's this one here. I tied this off the other day. It's already. It's just they just shoot up. I'll probably have to put that tie up a bit higher. They just shoot up. What is that one? Blackberry form fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these nettles we moved, we took them home and brought here.
Yeah. So these
Moved,
nettles
so-
we've been using for nettle tea and things like that. It's good to have them in the allotment. Ladybirds like them. Other creatures like them. The only thing is you have to make sure you just keep the area clean around it because they do like to spread. So every now and then I'll come up here and I'll just like see there's little plants. You just have to come up here and maintain them, don't you?
Yeah, it's all looking good now, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we should have some parsnips, definitely cauliflower, definitely tomatoes.
Definitely tomatoes. Too many tomatoes, really.
What have we got there? Cabbage.
Yeah.
Got cabbages coming up. There are a few nettles in here, I can see them, but that's not a bad thing. But some of them might be wildflower seeds as well, that's the other thing. Because
From there, yeah.
over there they look very similar, some of these plants, what's in there.
Because I think in the last update video we didn't really have any of this planted up.
No.
We might have constructed it, but we didn't have it planted up. And obviously next year we can plant it up differently and things.
Yeah, anyway, so we are what?
End of June
So we've got
2023.
this in October, November, so it's 7-8 months now.
Yeah.
Done all right, it's been a good first year. You couldn't feed a family on it yet, but you know, we'll rejig next year and we'll know a little bit more what to grow. But
So what are the easiest things to grow? Potatoes,
definitely
onions,
tomatoes,
tomatoes are relatively easy to grow.
lettuce.
Yeah. Lettuce has been easy,
really
yeah.
easy for us. Strawberries have been good in there. That's worked well for us, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Most things have been quite easy, long as you've got. But like I'm saying, without keep repeating myself, it's been a lot to do, I think, with our watering system because it just made it easy
So
for us.
when it's been really hot, we've come up here and just watered everything.
Just turn that hose on. It
Thoroughly.
has helped. And I mean, there's tomatoes coming now there. You can see them.
So what
Be
we'll do
nice.
in a bit, when they get a bit bigger, we'll put this netting back over, just to sort of save them from being eaten
smell-
and things.
I mean, you can smell tomatoes as they.
Yeah.
It's got a very
Even the
sort of sweet, distinctive
Here,
smell.
look.
These, so it's nice.
smell that.
It's really nice. It's funny how you get some very sort of light green leaves and then some real dark leaves, isn't it? Different plants.
Some of the leaves at the bottom have died off a bit, but that's no big deal.
I know. Then when these have gone over, there's one I missed, but it's not quite full yet. When these have gone over, we'll look at planting something else in here for the winter. I mean, that's how they look on the plant. You can see them there.
So if you leave these, as I said in the earlier part of the video, if you leave these, when you get the pods like this, you want to leave them about another week, 2 weeks, get bigger peas in them.
I mean, the thing I would say, they look flat at the moment, but when they're sort of bulging out a bit rounder the whole pod, then pick them.
Yeah.
Right there, you can see the difference between that one.
You can take one off and show 'em.
So
So this is what they look like.
let's soon fill out. That's a flat one. Looks like Mange 2, and that's starting to
Yeah.
fill out, and that's when you want to be
That's
picking
probably
them.
what you want, yeah.
Yeah. So
But it's died off at the bottom, but it's still
Yeah.
all right at the top.
we tried these butterfly things for white cabbage. Sort of work. They do avoid it, don't they?
Don't seem to land anywhere with them. So.
I've just seen 2 big apples.
Have you? Oh God.
That's what I'm saying. If you've got an allotment, you come and there's nothing, and suddenly you go, wow, where'd they come from?
So obviously this is your old apple tree.
So
It's bush apple.
now this is the first year we've had it. Look at that, and that,
We can get a few apples off here, aren't we?
and that.
It's a young tree though,
But
isn't
you know,
it?
even if because we had some peas the other day and cooked them, put them on, sprinkled on top of the salad, lettuce with some onions, and it was really nice. So even if we get 5 or 6 apples off this and chop it and make a fruit salad or a smoothie, at least you've grown it yourself.
The only
That's
tree
good.
we haven't had anything off of yet. Might need a bit more time to tell you the truth. Nothing on this yet. Victoria plum, nothing yet, but it might need to be a bit more warmer for that to start work going. Conference pear, doesn't look like anything. This one here, the old Starline Column apple, doesn't look like we've got anything on there yet, but might need 1 or 2 years more, to be honest. That's how some of them are.
Here's just to show you how look, as boring as it is, there's 2 more ladybirds there, one there and one there.
So they like the stinging nettles, the ladybirds do.
And they are real pest controllers.
If you are growing nettle stuff, nettle tea and things, once they start flowering, you don't pick the leaves anymore because they contain something that can cause an issue. So once they start getting to this stage, you can't really use them anymore.
But you can use them for plant food, just in
use
water.
Them, you can cut them down and use them as a fertiliser.
We've done a video on that if you'd like to watch it. So
yeah, lots
all
to
looking
report
good.
though. But
So if you've enjoyed this video, just to see how we're progressing, what we've done right, what we've done wrong, then please subscribe and like. We'd appreciate it, 'cause it does help us along a little bit. And we're hoping next year we do things a little bit differently, or even further in the year. So I forget it's still only June, but everything's green. So yeah, we're next to a. That's not the cameraman telling me to leave it. I mean, name isn't Lottie. It's the dog walking track behind us. So yeah, but everything's looking good. So thanks for watching once again.